of the next quinquennial, that is 2026 to 2030, due to massive retirements. Retiring workers, directors in particular, were also encouraged to mentor others who show interest in activities of their departments. The directors have also conducted capacity building workshops for local leaders, and in some cases, certificates have been issued. The International Institute of Christian Discipleship, IICD, by God's grace, has graduated 3 cohorts. We hope that they will impact their local churches, Accra City Conference, and beyond. Education Director virtually pulled the president into visiting all the basic schools to appreciate the challenging situation on the ground and advise or collaborate with the education unit and the specific schools to change things for the better. Some significant results have been achieved. Apart from the several leadership workshops, a music teacher has been engaged to teach in the music school, which is intended to build the capacity of music leaders in our local churches. Conclusion. Yes, I am the vine, Jesus said. You are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. John 15:5. It is indeed the intimate relationship with Jesus that has given and sustained the growth of ACC, including the number of souls added to the membership and dynamic leadership. It is by the grace of God that we have come this far. We appreciate the Southern Ghana Union Conference leadership and are grateful to all officers and directors, executive committee, pastors and workers of Accra City Conference for their cooperation and collaboration. We thank all Accra City Conference members for their prayers, financial and material support throughout the quinquennial. We would need more of everyone's serious attention in the next quinquennium as we integrate for mission under the theme grounded in the Bible and focused on the mission. Submitted by Pastor Dr. Solomon Okotrebi Hammond.
Mr. Chairman, I move that this overview be accepted and recorded.
It's been moved. Any seconder? Seconded. Thank you very much. On behalf of the union, we want to appreciate Pastor Dr. S.O.T. Hammond for leading the Accra City Conference and for actually superintending the work for over 10 years. And what do you say to him? Exactly 10 years. We are proud of you. Your president is somebody who doesn't play with work at all. And when we meet at union meetings, he's the type who ensures that things are done meticulously and in line with policy. I am sure very soon he will be leaving us. And therefore, on behalf of my colleagues, we want to say, Pastor, we are very much proud of you. We pray that the Lord will continue to bless you. Pastor who has been saying something, say, I am retiring, but I'm not tired. I am sure that you still make your knowledge, your wisdom, and the investment that the Lord has actually made in you available to some of us as we work for God in his vineyard. God bless you. Like I said, we will not discuss the president's report. It's an overview. We want to zoom straight ahead to listen to the secretary's report. And we want to invite Pastor Dr. Emmanuel Geza to give us the secretary. Pastor, you have the floor.
My name is Emmanuel Geza. I present to you at this time, on behalf of Accra City and the Secretariat, our report. Thank you very much.
Accra City Conference Session Report 2025. Preamble. The Secretariat manages programs, activities, records, and personnel for the conference for effective productivity. Within the first quinquennial term 2021-2025, the strategic plan was duly followed for spiritual growth, mission, and active leadership to prepare the church for the soon coming of Jesus Christ. I will go. There are 7 basic objectives that propel this presentation. Achievements. The current population of Accra is 2,788,000. As of 30th September 2025, the current membership of Accra City is 33,543. Thus, the ratio of Adventist population to Accra City is 1:83. The table illustrates this. Yearly growth rating. The year 2021 saw the highest at 4.4%, followed by the year 2023 as 2.5%, followed by year 2022, 2.2%. Then 2024 we had 1%. 2025 at 0.9% as at September 2025. We thus have achieved 11% growth as against 20% growth projected. This is a 55% achievement. Church organization. 11 churches were organized, representing 110% of the growth, as expressed or as explained in a table. Church organizations went on as already said. District creation and inauguration. We projected 4 districts within the Quinquennial, but 2 districts were organized, meaning we have achieved 50% of the set goal. Continuous training for church clerks and pastors. This activity went on throughout the conference within the quinquennial time, and the table illustrates. Objective 5, Adventist Management System. From the previous term upload of 80%, the current Six, Pastoral Workforce, Adventist Volunteer Services Program, AVSP, and Literature Evangelism. 13 theological students were employed, including 2 AVSP, as explained in a table. Objective 7, Human Resource Capacity Building. The objective for the department was also to develop the human resource capacity of 10 workers. 16 resource capacity build, representing 160% as illustrated in the table. Pastor member ratio. The total pastoral staff strength stands at 58%. The pastor member ratio therefore represents 1:578. Calls. Pastor Joseph Wiafi and Pastor Johnson were called from Oti region respectively. St. Damte was called from Agagan, and then Israel Nuvia was called in 2025. Calls outside. Pastor Dayton was called to the division. Pastor Mark Hardo was called to the union, and Elder Sefastete was also called to the union respectively.
appointment. Pastor Emmanuel Geza was appointed as the executive secretary when Nathan Tenodonko was called to the division. Pastor Timothy Yabua was also appointed as the stewardship and trust service director. Pastor Kester Jotesia Agbasi appointed as the youth and music and possibility department leader. Pastor Daniel Abedu Bidiaba was also appointed as the associate departmental director for the youth. Staff promotion. Ms. Patricia Owusu was promoted from the rank of administrative secretary to an assistant secretary. Ms. Vivian Yanoe was also promoted from the rank of senior assistant accountant to assistant treasurer. Mrs. Esther Geza was also promoted from senior accountant to assistant treasurer. Ebenezer Geza was promoted from accountant to a senior accountant. Ordination. During the period under review, 18 ministers were ordained into the gospel ministry as illustrated by the table below. Staff strength and credentials. We have 58 pastoral staff and 36 working staff, making it 94 working staff in Accra City Conference. Executive committee meetings. We had 19 executive committee meetings and 5 emergency executive committee meetings. Resignation. 3 pastors resigned during the quinquennial. Pastor Ochri, Pastor Chushu, and Pastor Ewu Kwe. Retirement. 10 workers retired during the quinquennium. And the table illustrates or bring up the names that were retired. Necrology. Some samples of death were occurred within the period under review are as follows. The table illustrates Pastor Tevinado, Vivian Awura Ablatete, John Aphrodite, John Kingsley Arthur, Yao Jabambuedu, Ebenezer Obodai Saki, Jacob Jonas Neti, just to mention a few. Challenges. Delay in the procedure of proper land documentation, inadequate music teachers in companies to help in the raising up of choir. 3. Some traditional districts find it difficult to create new districts because of relationship. 4. Lack of intentionality in entering data of members on the ACMS Secretariat and pastors. Conclusion and recommendation. The Lord has been gracious unto us to accomplish most of the objectives throughout the quinquennial. Going forward, the following recommendations are put forth. 1. To encourage churches to follow the procedure of purchasing lands by the estate and project department. 2. To educate leaders and members to appreciate the need of dividing and growing together. 3. To task pastors and to weekly enter data of members on the ACMS and to train church clerks to do so. 4. To encourage and assist every district to build personages to house pastors. 5. To monitor and assist pastors who are being sponsored to finish their program on time. Gratitude. To God be the glory. I am grateful to all pastors, my co-administrators, and all directors for their mutual cooperation and support. To all who contributed in diverse ways to help our work at the secretariat, may the good Lord bless you abundantly. Shalom. Submitted by Pastor Dr. Emmanuel Geza, the Executive Secretary. Thank you.
You want to move, sir?
Mr. Chairman, I move that this be accepted and
It's
discussed.
been moved. Any seconder? Seconded. A round of applause for him. He has done well. The union secretary want to pass a comment, and then we invite the auditor, to give us his presentation. After that, we'll discuss the secretary's report together with the estate. So please, just note some few things you want to comment on. But let me give the mic to the secretary to have the first bite.
We want to commend Pastor Geza for that good report. Looking at his report, the growth rate for Accra City was 110. They were able to create 4 districts organized too, that is 50%. ACMS, they clock 100%, that's good of you. For the human capacity, is excellent. Building 16 workers and training them, that is excellent. The pastor membership rate is 1:150. 150 what? 1:578. Comparatively, when you compare it with other conferences, though it is high, but it's also good. And also the staff promotion. When you are working and you are not promoted, you doesn't give in your best. About 16 staff were promoted, and we want to commend the secretariat for that. On behalf of the union officers, we want to commend Pastor Geza for that good work done. Kudos to you. Thank you.
So we want to invite the auditor before the treasurer comes in. The Seventh Adventist Church requires that before the treasurer can give report at any constituency meeting, we must have the auditor actually giving us the auditor's report. So the treasurer's report must be reports that have been audited. So we are privileged to have the general conference auditing, service staff among us. We want to invite him to present the auditor's opinion, and then after that, the treasurer will give his report, the estate will follow, and then we'll box them together to discuss them. So, Mr. Auditor, you are welcome. Let me say this before. Let me say this before he begins. We met recently at Kumasi, the 4 union president, together with the division officers. At the just ended SGEC, session, they just gave a gist of it. If you come to our division, we are told that audit report across the West Central Africa division, we have about 49% disclaimers, which is very, very bad. And therefore, the rule is that conferences who have disclaimers, all the officers, they should forget about appointment. They should forget about it. That is the decision from the West Central Africa division. And we are going to make sure that we follow it meticulously. So, if the 3 officers, you have disclaimer, all of them will go. And I believe my treasurer, he is working a lot of things. We'll make sure that at the appropriate time, when we actually assume office, training and workshop and seminars will come to make sure that we get one of the best financial reports. So that is just by the way. So please, he's going to give us the report. His name is Henry Bremai, GCAS auditor. Please, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. So I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and also much appreciation from my regional manager, Courage Wankocha, who could not come here. However, he decided that I should come and represent him. As the business of the business is business, I would like to straight away look at the deal at hand. That is the presentation of the GCAS audit report. As you are aware, the auditor tends out to go through 6 processes before coming out with his conclusion or his opinion. Right? Tends out to go through 6 processes before giving his opinion and the report at large. So first of all, we tend to look at agreement of our process and procedures with the entity in terms of making the client sign the engagement letter. So the engagement letter is signed by the clients. Then we tend to obtain documentation for the audit. So the documentation for the audit spans from obtaining documents like the minutes, the trial balance, the financial statements, and other related documentation which help us with our processes. After we have obtained this documentation, we tend to go through the process of risk assessment to determine how risky the client is, setting a maturity threshold, and on that basis also come out with some sampling techniques, helping us come out with our audit procedures. Then we tend to perform some audit procedures, testing some controls in that regard to ensure that the sections of the financial statements are fairly presented. Then on the basis of the work done on the various sections, we tend to come out with a conclusion. Then finally, we tend to do our audit report. From the presented to the Accra City Conference for the past 5 years. The Accra City Conference has been performing very well by obtaining an unmodified audit opinion. That is what we call the colloquial form a clean audit report. We tend to issue opinion on the financial statement, each entity. 2020 was issues of COVID, which you and I are aware of. The Accra City happened to record a non-standard audit opinion with regards to policy. That means that there are some few issues of policy non-compliance. But with regards to the financial statements, they have been getting a clean opinion. So, their financial statement turns out to be special purpose financial statement because there exists a department which is not audited as part of the financial statement of Accra City, and that relates to the Women's Center. But the arrangements in place with management to ensure that that department is audited. Financial trends shows that the entity's profits, net income, tithe, working capital, and liquidity has been increasing steadily, except for 2024, where there was a slight decline with regards to constructions which was in place and expenditure which went into the other departments of the conference. So, the survey that policy issued shows that the conference has been complying with issues with regard to insurance, and management has adhered to that. There are processes in place to ensure that things are done perfectly. There are also issues of significant deficiencies, which when you look at it from 2021 up to now, you could see clearly that the client has been improving, thereby even reducing the number of significant deficiencies recorded. And we see from our side as GCAS that this is a good news, because no auditor would want to audit a client where you give recommendations and the recommendations are not adhered to. So we tend to see Accra City Conference as a learning client, a client who has been improving, and with time we ensure that things will be fine. So when you look at the controls with regards to the conference, you see that they are also implementing some controls day in and day out, and that is why the significant deficiencies are decreasing. I would like to end by coming out with much appreciation, gratitude